Okay, beware that we are now recording.
Okay.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us. And like I said, Karen wanted to be here, and she's got a house fire, not a house fire, a fire, big fire near her house. They just shut down the electricity to her place. So it looks like it's far enough away that her house isn't in danger, but it doesn't look pretty. At any rate, Charlene has got her camera off because she's in pain. Poor Charlene. Hi, Larry. Larry, your microphone. There you go.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to be just listening. I'm going to be silent and dark for now. I got stuff going on here, but I'll be listening.
Silent and dark.
One side, one deep.
That was actually a fun movie.
Yes.
I remember it. Some of those old submarine movies. Full speed ahead and damn the torpedoes. Okay, let's get serious. Basically, I figured we'd pick up at module 1, lesson 5, which was
Sounds good.
Okay. So she opened that lesson by talking about customers. I made some notes. So and Tim, I don't know, where are you at with the modules? Have you gotten through all those modules or all the lessons in module 1?
I'm finishing up module 5. I think I'm on like session 8.
Okay. So Stacy started lesson 5, module 1, lesson 5, with the idea that there are sort of 3 approaches being taught these days to how to acquire customers. One is the old go for no approach. The other is go for yes, and the third is customer centric. She talked about the customer centric approach. Do you remember that? Which
not that
yeah,
exact term.
No. The customer centric approach was basically the idea that you do everything for the customer. You just really dig in and know what your customer wants and do everything for them. Statistically, 55% of people who are in sales are thought to be in the wrong field, either because they're selling the wrong thing or because they're just not very good at sales. And she was blaming part of that on the customer-centric idea, because if we're completely customer-centric, then we're focused on what the customer wants, but we haven't taken into account what's important to us. So the whole point of the Go for Yes program, according to her, is to figure out what we want, what's important to us, and then match that to the right customer. It's not just in the customer-centric approach, any old customer will do. You just figure out what they want. In the Go for Yes approach, not any old customer will do. We want to figure out what's important to us and then figure out who our customers are. So that makes a lot of sense to me. Does that make a lot of sense to you?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to me too. I think you have to know what you want to sell, but you've got to know, you've got to have the right customers. You got to have a way of weeding out the wrong people. It's sifting and sorting is what some people call it, but I think that makes sense.
Well, it's sifting and sorting. Yeah, I agree. And it's also, I mean, one of the things that I've taught routinely over the years, when I've taught multiple times how to pick the right network marketing company for you. And the first thing I always started with was the product. And I made the observation when I was teaching those things that if you hated the product, I mean, I used to be in a company that sold a juice product, and I want to say it was Melaleuca, but I'm not 100% sure it was, but I think it was. But anyway, it was a juice product that came in a bottle that looked like wine, and it was made from some berry that only comes from the rainforest of the Amazon, blah, blah. I hated the stuff. I absolutely hated it. So I didn't drink it every day. And so I could no more sell that product than, I mean, I just couldn't. I couldn't in good conscience look at anyone and say, yep, this is really great stuff. You ought to drink it every day. Because I wasn't drinking it every day. And I didn't like the taste of it. Well, some people were very successful with it. I certainly wasn't. And I think that's the whole point. Pardon me?
I think I might have been in that same company. It was Morinda, Noni Juice. Was it Noni Juice?
No, it was the acai berry. I think it was Melaleuca.
Acai.
Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it was Melaleuca. And Melaleuca is a very different company these days. And I mean, that was back in the days when it was a one-trick pony. It sold nothing but these bottles of juice. So, I think it's, anyhow, just traveling on, I think it's sort of important for us to figure out. I mean, I happen to love the products that we're selling right now in our company, Tim and Larry, and to some extent Charlene too. So I think, for that, especially for me, I'm really well matched to the product. So the challenge then is to go out and find the customers who are interested in what we have, rather than just trying to market our product to any customer that comes along. 50%, and so there were some statistics that she ran through, and like I said, help me out here. I don't know how you guys want me to proceed. I wasn't particularly, we talked last night, I hadn't particularly intended to reteach her course. But anyway, 50% of all leaders focus on customer retention. It's important. Yeah, and the important message here is that once you have a lot of people in network marketing tend to go for the sale. They think, you see it, like in our case, if we bring a customer in at first class, we put $100 in our pocket. Well, whoop-de-doo. And a lot of people get focused on getting somebody in. Just get them in first. Get them into first class if you can, because that's the biggest bang for the buck.
Could I take this one?
Take it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think she meant that in the sense that if you've built a relationship with them already, because you're not going to just get the sale and dump them and go away. You're still their friend. You're going to engage with them, even after they've already joined you or bought your product and stuff like that. And you maintain that relationship. So if you have something new, they're going to trust you to, oh yeah, God, yeah, you did me right last time. I'll try this, or I'll try this, and if they're in like our particular business, we can like, hey, did you see the new special, the deal they got on yada, yada, yada? And they're like, oh, I haven't seen that yet. And, because they're your friends already. It's just not like a lot of people, as soon as they get you, they leave you alone. They never talk to you again. I've been in businesses that they got me and then dumped me, and I never heard from them again.
And that's exactly the point.
Yes.
That 51% of leaders focus on customer retention. And that means after you've brought the customer in, you spend time with them, you take care of them, you help them get started, you help them do whatever and if they're just going to be a customer, you make sure they're getting what they came for.
Yeah.
And
I like the statement she made. You don't close a sale, you open a relationship.
Yes. Anybody else have any comments? We'll move on. The next point she made was William Clement Stone. She said, look him up. He was a friend of Napoleon Hill's. Sales is contingent on how I feel, not on how my audience feels. Anybody have any thoughts about that?
Well, I just believe that's, it's more important on, like you said, you didn't like that juice. So you're going to feel bad about, if you don't even like it, how are you going to get somebody else to like it?
Yeah.
So You know, if you don't feel good about what you're trying to pitch, you're not gonna, they're gonna hear it in your voice or see it in your posture. And they're just, you know, gonna like, well, I can tell you don't even like this crap. And you're trying to hawk it on me. So you're never gonna get anywhere.
Yep. Yep. And that was exactly how I felt about it.
Yeah.
The next point she made, which I think is a really interesting one, but I think it's going to blend very well into what we're trying to accomplish here, and that's people don't ask for facts. They ask for satisfaction. Let me see if I get her words here. They prefer a soul-satisfying emotional experience, not facts. You know, we've all heard the facts sell stories, or facts tell, stories sell.
Yes.
Stories sell. And that plays really well into some of the statistics that come along in the next module about who's on social media and what they're looking for, because just throwing and when we're doing our posts, just putting up a bunch of facts, it doesn't, nobody relates. And yeah,
She also mentions that every brand isn't for everybody, and everybody isn't for every brand.
and that rolls right back into the comment I made earlier about the acai juice. So there was, I mean, it was a big company that sold a lot of juice. Somebody must have liked it.
Yeah.
It wasn't for me. And yeah, the next point she made was the one you said already, Tim. Don't close a sale, open a relationship, build a long-term business. And so important these days. And so many people in our profession really do miss that point. They go for the sale. They see the dollars up front and they think of that. Diane Hoffman talked frequently at length in many of her trainings about understanding the lifetime value of a customer and realizing that, you know, it's just the same thing we talk about with the customers in the travel, that they're going to be worth an average of maybe $300 per person per year, and we could argue whether it's 150 or 500. It's some number. It's a number. Doesn't matter what it is, but over a period of time, they're worth a whole lot more than the upfront. Just, you know, if they don't want to come into business as an ambassador, in our case, put them on as a customer. And yeah, every brand isn't for everybody, and everybody's not for every brand. And the final one is, the final one from Harvey McKay. Too often sales reps regurgitate their presentation.
Yes.
Yeah, just be real, be authentic, come from your heart, come from a position of caring about the person, and don't try to, you know, I'm beginning more and more, I don't know about you, but I don't know what your thoughts are on this, but obviously I don't know, but I'm beginning more and more to come around to the idea that, you know, asking for scripts, well, scripts can help guide us, but we don't want to be using scripts. We want to talk to people.
I agree. Scripts are not, they're not natural, especially if you're using somebody else's. Even if you take somebody else's and they say make it your own, it still feels weird. I mean, I don't use scripts, but if I get a really good content or a message, I do save it and put it in my notes so I can cut and paste, because 10 minutes later I can't remember exactly what I said. So, and that's I don't think it's a script. It's just I save it to you know, otherwise I'll forget those exact words when I try to rewrite it.
So the whole, for me at least, the whole purpose of this lesson in this module is the idea that we need to spend more time really having heartfelt, heart-centered conversations with people and listening to what they say. because as she points out, if you get people talking, they're going to tell you their problems. And don't jump. The minute somebody says they have a problem, and if we think we have something to solve it, we still don't jump on them with, well, I have a solution for that. We ask that sort of very gentle leading question that is, well, gee, did you know that I had the same thing? Would you be interested in knowing how I approached it, or what I did about that, or how I solved it, or, you know, letting the customer come to you basically and say, yes, I want to know. Any comments, anybody?
Yeah, I think a lot of that comes down to, and I've got her book, I've been reading it, but a lot of it comes down to presenting yourself on Facebook or social media platforms in a way that people get to know you, and you just have to be consistent for years and years and years. I mean, it doesn't happen in a day. Relationships don't happen quickly.
Mm-hmm. Agree.
And then pretty soon people will come to you on some level and want to know what you're doing and how you're doing it.
So I guess that opens up a whole conversation, maybe a Pandora's box. But if it's going to take years and years and years to build these relationships, we'll all starve to death. So there's got to be, I'm asking, there's got to be, how do we balance building relationships with the fact that we're in business and we need to make money? Now, the go for no approach is just hammer, 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 hammer until either you find somebody who wants to buy, or you wear them down and they buy something just to shut you up and send you away. The go for yes approach is build relationships. But we don't have years to do that, do we? I mean, I don't.
No, I think that does bring up a good point. I mean, there has to be a balance, but the more you're out there on a consistent basis, the more you do build relationships.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get really consistent and be out there, 7 days a week like I'm supposed to be. You do that, Lynn. You get out there every day with Coffee with Lynn.
Yeah.
And you've been doing it a long time.
I've been doing it a long time. But the interesting, and I've been really, I'll be very vulnerable here on this topic. I've been really rethinking, or thinking, if you like, rethinking, what am I doing with Coffee with Len? Because the reality is that my engagement is nowhere near. I mean, if I get, in a good day, by the time I've been out there long enough, I'll have 20 or 30 views. If you just, in fact, let's just take a look at that. I mean, help me out here, guys. And
Hey, Len, I got a question for your Coffee with Len stuff. Is it like people like me that know you and want to say what up? Or is it, are you getting looks from people you don't know?
Well, see, that's the interesting thing. So here's Coffee with Len today. 39 views, 4 comments. I know everybody on here. There's nobody there that I don't know. And I can comment on each one of these people and who they are and what they are. I mean, 39 views and 4 comments. It's okay. Here's yesterday's. Well, yesterday was split into 2 parts. My phone stopped in the middle of it. 22 views, 5 comments. Let me go down a couple days. Happy Father's Day. 20 views, 1 comment. So, and it's 51 views, 5 comments. And again, if you look at the comments, this is the same people. Nyen, Robert Clark, Larry Ryan. I don't know what that guy's doing, but
The guy's sober in the morning.
Cynthia, huh?
he's sober in the morning.
Yeah. So, it's not getting, and yeah, I mean, I've been doing Coffee with Len for, I think it's coming up on 8 years. Because of issues with computers, YouTube, and other things, I've lost some of the earliest files. I can't go back to the first Coffee with Len and tell you exactly when it was, but I'm saying it was in the fall 8 years ago. So, I don't know if it's doing me any good or not. I hate to quit.
I think it probably is. And a lot of people don't comment or don't, I mean, they might be in your views, but there's a lot of people that watch you and you don't know it. I've had
Well-
people that I've had conversations with who mentioned a live I've done who have never commented. I've never seen them watch it, but they're still watching it.
And I believe that's true. I absolutely believe that's true. I've had many people tell me that, oh yeah, I see your coffee videos almost every day. I'm going, well, why don't you ever say anything?
Yeah,
So,
because they're
yeah.
not ready
Yeah,
yet.
people don't comment enough. I know on mine, I did a live today and I had, I think, 53 views last time I looked. And I only had a couple of comments, one or something. I don't know,
Yeah.
not many. Sometimes I'll have 80 or 100 views, and I won't have but one or two comments. But yet I can post something generic, kind of like, not something I'm presenting, and you'll get all kinds of comments. I'll get
Yeah.
50 comments or whatever on the weird stuff.
Well, the other thing that's interesting, I'll point this, we're going to cover this soon, but not tonight, but, Stacy did a whole training on Facebook stories, and
Yeah.
stories are getting infinitely more engagement than posts are. They're getting a lot more engagement. So what we
Yeah, they
may,
do.
what we may want to be doing, and she was strongly recommending that we really start to use stories. So I've been experimenting a little bit more with stories than I had been in the past.
Yeah.
I have that as
Yeah.
part of
I
my
do stories.
daily thing is I do a post to my timeline, and then the rest of the day I just keep adding to my story throughout my day so that you can bring people into your life. And I get way better engagement off stories, and then I got to go through and I thank everybody for viewing, and then I come across people who've never showed up before and try to start conversations with them. But people, you get a lot of the thumbs up thing. So I think if you're consistent, I try to stay consistent. And, like I just like to go outside and I take pictures of the weather or a storm. Like that right there, I did that today. I did that. I did a little video about the thunderstorm because I always joke about the alien force field around my house. That storm came and only rained for 2 minutes. But I think stories is really building up.
See this, and I agree. This is interesting. So here's my coffee. Come on, back. Here's my coffee with Len today, and I had 49 viewers here. So that's very different than, if you notice, we only had a couple of comments over there on the profile page, but this is way different. So I think, jumping ahead to her things on stories, what I should be doing, and I didn't do it, I haven't been doing it, but what I need to start doing is I should be sending messages, certainly to Laurel, Dolly, and Alice. And then what do we do with these, Tim? Do we send a message back saying, thank you for watching my story?
Yeah, that's all I do. If it's somebody I know because I have a following on there, I'll engage them in conversation. How you doing? If it's somebody new, I just say, thank you for viewing, because that puts me in their messenger. And then when they reply back, we can start conversing. So I just say thank you for viewing my viewing.
Right.
Unless I know them. If I know them, I'll add a little bit more. That's something that Stacy stresses. She replies to every comment on every post that she does. If you look and you comment on it, she'll send you a reply back.
Shirley, you were saying something?
Yeah, that's I've I've been reading, and that's exactly what people say to do. Every comment, I've been trying to do that lately.
So what about, okay, so let me come back here. Let me just one more time go back there. Sorry, because I think this is an incredibly important topic. What about the people that don't comment? Now, in her training, I think she was sending them a message also, right, Tim?
Yes. Yeah. I go through this list and thank everybody, because I'll get a lot of them will come back and say, "What are you thanking me for?" And I'll say, "Because you viewed my story."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you thank me, Tim, and I didn't comment.
Yeah, like, yeah, Larry gives me a thumbs up all the time.
Are you getting, that's right, I can't see your comments. So, are you getting any pushback? And I remember, and the question is, the origin of that question is this. I remember having this conversation, this is before stories came into existence. We were just doing posts, and people were complaining that they were getting messaged every time they viewed a post. So they stopped viewing posts because they didn't want to get all these messages.
That's the fear I've had too. The truth is known. I get messages sometimes from people if I like something or make a comment, but pretty soon you're getting too many of that too. Facebook's difficult because it's so everybody does the same things, and then pretty soon you're overwhelmed with things. You don't really want to talk to that many people.
Okay. Well, this is something to keep in
So I
mind.
don't know.
This is something to
Yeah.
keep in mind, and we will revisit it when we do the mod. Let's see, Tim, do you remember, was the module on, or the lesson on using stories, that was one of the bonus lessons, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah, because I missed that and I have to go back and look at it.
So we're not going to actually, unless we go out of sequence, we're not going to get that into our sequence here. Maybe that's important enough that we should revisit it maybe next week or the week after, sometime soon. Why don't you go watch that module? I'll watch it again, and then we'll bring it back up again.
Yeah, because I do use stories all the time, and the good thing about them is the algorithm is Facebook doesn't penalize you for putting as many as you can all day, and you can also put links in there, and you can actually put offers in there subtly. You can get away with a lot more than you can on your commenting on posts, because yeah, they're getting weird. I'm commenting on people's posts and getting hit for violating social policy because I commented on somebody's stuff, so yeah, they're getting kind of weird. But
That's weird.
yeah,
I mean, they encourage comments, right?
That's
yeah, but they're starting to
very
censor.
weird.
They're starting to say what, Tim?
They're starting to censor.
Censor
Yeah,
comments?
comments, posts. Yeah,
Really?
I got one booted off because I put "Go Clean and Green America," put a pot plant on there, and they booted it.
Oh God, you're not supposed to sell pot on Facebook.
I wasn't selling it. I was just
I
saying,
know it. I'm being facetious. Damn hippie.
That's right.
All right. So do we want to spend more time on stories maybe next week or the week after, sometime soon?
Yes,
We'll
yes,
sort that
I'd
out.
like to.
We'll sort that out. Let's go back and rewatch the training and come back and we'll talk about it some more. Okay, so traveling right along, we are in, I don't know.
Well, that was 5 you're talking about. That was
Pardon?
session 5 that you were
Right,
talking about.
we're now in session 6. And
Yeah.
session 6 is really a lot of statistics, but I think it's extremely interesting. And let's just review it for everybody. First, interesting thing, women impact buying habits. Female consumers control 85% of all purchasing in the United States. Wow, that's mind-blowing. I wouldn't have expected that. And these are the sources for these statistics are apparently very valid sources. I mean, she's not making this stuff up. I'm just trusting her. I'm not go and researching her sources. Women are on.
Or have influence too.
Pardon me?
Or have influence.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's probably 100%.
And so let's just run through these statistics, then come back and talk about what it means for us. Women are on social media far more than men. I'm not sure that I've ever felt that, but when I start going through my news feed and thinking about it, of course, I spend most of my time on Facebook. I do very little Instagram. I've got a Pinterest account, but I really don't post to Pinterest. I go through LinkedIn. So anyhow, women are on social media more than men. On Facebook alone, women are 55% more engaged than males. Interesting. Women are more likely to buy from brands they interact with. They do not respond. In fact, there's a much stronger statement. They do not respond to unsolicited sales pitches, links, etc. Women use social media for staying in touch with friends, sharing what they are blogging or writing about, photo sharing, pure entertainment, and how-to information. And this is something, I mean, we've known this for a long time. What's the primary purpose of social media? It's to be social. It's not, Facebook, people want to buy something, they don't come to Facebook to buy. They come to Facebook to show pictures of their grandkids, their kids, their vacation, their dogs, their pets. And so that's why selling on Facebook is at once sort of very difficult. And in some ways it's easier, I think, because you can get to know people. You can really make friends on Facebook. I mean, you can't go out to Google and make friends. You can't go to eBay and make friends. You can't go to Amazon and make friends. But, you can on Facebook. Men typically want quick access to brand deals. Men typically, they treat the local, they go to Best Buy and they treat it like or Home Depot, and they treat it like a showroom. They go in, they look at the product they want to buy, they figure out the size, color, shape, everything else, then they come back to social media and search for the best price and buy.
Yeah.
A very interesting pattern. So
I like the fact, the stat that says most likely to click on a QR code is males.
yeah. And business pages. Business pages, the old argument about should we be posting on our timeline or our business page has been going on for years. And the world has really flip-flopped on that. And I used to teach back in the day, not too long ago, it was a stated Facebook policy, thou shalt not do business on your timeline. And it still is a stated policy. So you really don't do business on the timeline. That's the important thing people must understand. You don't do business on your timeline. You meet, greet, shake hands, get to know people, and then you treat it like a party. You take them out on the patio and chat with them offline. You get them out of the party. You treat Facebook like a party.
Paparazzi.
Pardon me?
Paparazzi are those, what's all that jewelry that people sell online? I mean, they sell it like crazy every night. I got a whole bunch of people I think I'll get rid of, but they're all out there selling jewelry.
Are they selling jewelry?
They'll be on there for an hour.
Are they selling jewelry or are they
selling jewelry?
Are they actually getting sales?
Yeah, if you watch them, they're getting sales
On their timeline.
On their timeline.
Or is this in a? Oh, okay. Well, I'm not familiar with it at all.
I mean, it amazes me, and I've got a lot of women that do that. Like I said, I think I'm going to get rid of some, but
yeah,
I've watched some of that just to see what goes on. Yeah, they're just selling jewelry.
Oh, okay.
So, and Facebook does not shut them down. So I don't know. I mean, I don't understand it, but
yeah,
they violate the rules, but it's working for them.
And this really is on a personal timeline. It's not on a business page or in one of the. I mean, Facebook does have a marketplace.
No.
Mm-hmm.
You can sell in the marketplace.
Oh, when I click on, I'm on my timeline. I'm assuming that's where it's at on their profile page. I mean, they'll be on my they'll be on my profile page showing this. I see it.
Well,
So I'm sure it's from their profile page. How else would it show up on
it
mine?
can't. The only person who can post on your profile page is you.
Well, no, other people can, but I have to.
No.
But I'm just saying when
There are two things.
timeline.
There are two things. There's your
Okay,
personal profile and there's your timeline. And those are two different things.
Yeah.
I know. But when I go through my timeline and I see all these people selling jewelry, then I'm assuming they're selling it from their page. How else would I see it?
You have to see where it's coming from.
And it's only going to show up if they're my friend on the profile. They have to be my friend for me to see it on my timeline. I'm not going to a business page to watch it. It's showing up on my timeline.
You know, but that raises but if you've liked a page, a business page, or if it's coming from a group, I mean, we can go into business pages and we can go into groups and we can say see first or see highlights. So it could be, I mean, I don't know, we'd have to look at it. It's a good question, Charlene. I don't know the answer. I've never seen one. They don't advertise them to me.
Well, I've just befriended people that do it,
do you have any on your computer right now? But you're not.
Have to look.
Yeah, but you're not sure. You should. Let's table that one and look at it. Let's look at it again. I'd be curious where it's coming from.
Yeah.
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 She might have a setting on hers that allows other people to post on her timeline.
Well, yeah.
No, these are people that I have friended.
Uh-huh.
And they're just doing their little things. It's like everybody you friend, you see what they post. That's all they are.
Well, remember, not everybody. We see about 5% of our friends' posts at best.
Well, I see an awful, they say that, but I see an awful, I bet I've got 200 on here I see every day. I can't even get through them
Yeah,
all.
but how many friends do you have? You got 3,000?
Yeah, but this list of people I see I never get through it. It's just huge.
Yeah. Well, I'd love
So
to. I'd love to take a look at it and see what it is. I'm curious. I've never seen what you're talking about. I'm just being curious.
Well, friend one of those people that sell jewelry, and you'll see it all the time. Okay, Karen Hopkins is lab now. What's she selling? She's selling jewelry.
Who?
Share your screen.
Okay.
She's.
I'm on my computer. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're just on there. They're just people that I've friended, and they're showing up, and they're selling jewelry all over the place.
Karen Hopkins?
And they'll have 200 or 300 people on. Yeah. She's selling something on there. I wish I could find some of the others because they're on there every night.
Well, you know what? When you can share your screen, maybe we can take a look at it. Why don't we? Maybe next week. Maybe next week we'll take a look at it.
Yeah.
Sorry about the magic jack jumping up in the middle here. One of the most insidiously stupid pieces of software on the planet is the operating software for Magic Jack. You just don't want to get me started on the list of things I have. Okay, so anyhow, back to business pages. We really are doing all this stuff on our timelines, on our personal profile pages, not on our timeline. Sorry, our personal profile pages, because business pages, nobody sees anything unless you pay money to have people see them. So, and she didn't elaborate on that. She buzzed right over it, but I think everybody here understands that, right? I mean, you can post on your business page all day long and ain't nobody going to see it unless you're running ads and paying for them. So, okay. Men, themes that resonate, interesting stuff. This is really intriguing. We'll come back to it in a minute, but come back to sort of wrap this up and come back to it. But themes that resonate. Men, cars, sports, action, sex.
Oh, you forgot adventure.
Nope, those are the four. Action and adventure were the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I put a comma in there for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah, action, adventure, and sex. Yeah.
Women, things that are sentimental, family, real life true stories, children, and pets. Now think about that. If you really truly believe that 85% of buying decisions are influenced by women, what are you going to post about? You're going to post about cars? Women don't give a damn about cars. Men do, but they're not influencing the buying decisions. So you think about, and I'm just thinking about this. I mean, how do we take this information and do something with it? But
Well, I'll say this. I post about pets a lot.
yep,
And I have literally hundreds and hundreds of people who post about pets, my friends. Women love to post about pets and they love to read about. I can post a picture of my dog and I'll get more comments than I will on about anything else.
there you go. I mean, that's the whole
it absolutely works.
point. That's the whole point. That's the whole point.
Yeah, it works. And I have made a lot of good friends on Facebook with people that are pet people like I am. Because yeah, they love that. And everybody loves their pets. Or well, some people don't. They mistreat them, but most people love their pets. Some people are stupid.
Yep. No, I agree. Okay. One more list of topics. These are the topics that men and women respond equally to. Humor, anything of value, celebrity endorsements, and anything aspirational. How to be better, how to expand more, how to grow more, etc. So if you think about those lists of topics, and you think about that women are making 85% of the buying decisions, then it sort of shows us. And like Tim, you've got dogs, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I got my dog. We should be posting more about our dogs.
I put a lot of my dogs in my stories.
Yeah, Charlene, I agree with you, Charlene. Yeah, but dogs, family.
Every time I post anything, I'll get 80 to 100 views every time I do it, and I do post about them because I like to talk about dogs too.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah, I know
get
you
more
do.
probably from that than anything. Really. Now another thing I do, like today, I did health and wellness, and so far it's gotten 53 views. It will get more. It'll be up to 100 by tomorrow night. But people tend to like the health and wellness Tuesday. I'm doing that every Tuesday now. I've got a theme set up, and I'm doing a different theme each day. But Tuesday is my health and wellness day, and I have noticed because it's truly educational, women like that too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, and carrying that theme forward, that is one of the things. I don't remember, honestly, don't remember if it was in last week and we talked about it already, or if it's coming up next week or the week after. But when she talked about identifying the major thing, let's take me for example. I still keep thinking that my major overall broad problem is healthy, wealthy, active aging. And within that broad problem, there are subcategories. And what she encouraged us to do was to pick like 4 subcategories. And then every Tuesday is that what's your category today, Charlene? This is Tuesday.
Well, my Tuesday is they call it themes. It's the same thing, but
theme.
the things. I have a theme for every day, and Tuesday is my health and wellness.
And that's what she was encouraging as part of the course too, is to have this.
It's absolutely encouraged by the leaders out there. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So that's something
her included.
That's something that I personally have not been doing, and in trying to figure out what I'm going to do with Coffee with Len, one of the things that I I've been thinking about is, could I turn it around so that I had a theme based every day of the week? It was a different theme. And could I build up the viewership that way? I don't know. So that's something else that I was thinking about.
Well, it seems to work for a lot of people. So that's why I'm set it up and I'm doing it too.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that I was told to do this week.
Okay. Awesome. Cool.
Yep.
Okay. Now the next session, which is the last session in module 1, is the one on Keller. Red, green, blue, and yellow.
Yes.
Do you want to jump into that session tonight, or should we just call it a night and jump into that one as our starting point next week?
Let's do it next week.
Okay.
Okay.
I second that motion. Because I think it'll be an interesting discussion. So everyone's familiar with the concept of colors, right? And we're not talking about Black Lives Matter.
Yep.
Okay, we're talking about personality colors: red, green, yellow, and blue.
Thank goodness.
Pardon me?
I said, thank goodness.
Yeah. The four major personality colors: red, green, yellow, blue. And it'd be interesting for us to dissect each other and figure out. Well, I see some of every color in me. I absolutely cannot figure out which one's the dominant in me. That maybe you guys have an opinion of which dominant in me, and maybe I don't want to hear it. I don't know. But everybody
has.
It could be a fun conversation.
It could be an aggressive one too.
Well, let's agree to be nice with each other. And then let's start. Assuming we wrap up the colors with time left, we'll start into lesson 2, module 2.
Sounds good.
Okay, cool. Anybody have any comments, suggestions, ideas, criticisms, accolades?
No.
Nope. Okay. Well, thank you all for coming. I'm going to stop the recording here in just a second. Thank you all for being here tonight. And I am going to process the recording and make it available in the group. I'm going to probably run it out, put it on YouTube, or on YouTube as a private, so I can just put the link up. Otherwise, it's really painful. So anyhow, everybody okay with that?
Yep.
No objections? Going
Okay.
once, going twice?
Well,